Besides that, I'm a 2 times published author. People call me with different names: entrepreneur, model, influencer, author. But one word that I love to hear for myself is passionpreneur. Because I converted my passion into my business. And that's what keeps me excited the whole day. People ask me, how are you always energized? How are you always motivated? Don't you get tired? I do not, because it's my passion. I love it. I start my day with excitement and end my day with contentment. And that's why I love to hear the journey of those people who have come out of their comfort zone and followed their passions. And today, in this talk show, we have an amazing, a girl, she's again close to my heart. I have known her from last maybe 3 years, but I have seen her journey, how she unfolds her wings of passion and is taking to the next level every single day. Let's welcome Anya Ahuja, the youngest radio host in Dallas. Hey Anya, how are you?
Good. Hello everybody, it's nice to meet you all. My name is Anya. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Please have a seat. There's a lot to talk about this girl, but I always feel, let's hear in her own words. But to summarize, her name, as I said, is Anya Ahuja. She's the youngest radio host, I know, especially in Dallas, but I think if I dive deep, she might be the youngest in the whole United States. She started her radio host journey at the age of 11. We see 11 years old sitting here, right? At 11 years, she was on a radio, not just talking to 20, 25 people, but the whole world. So many people listening to her. And then she also has her own podcast. We'll talk about that. She is a writer. She has been writing content and different articles for local magazines. More than that, she has become an MC. She gets invited. She travels all over the United States to be an MC and take care of the whole show. And there's a lot more. So let's listen from her. Anya, are you excited?
Yes, I've never heard myself have such a strong introduction. I think you made me sound a lot better than I am.
No, I feel it is all your hard work that has made you do this. And today in our audience, we have these young aspiring kids. They have just finished their first level of entrepreneurship, and there are 5 levels, so they are on their journey, but I'm sure your journey, your story is going to touch their hearts. So let's start. Are we ready?
Yes, we are.
Audience, are we ready?
Yes.
Once more.
Yes.
You got the energy?
I did.
I get charged by them. All right, so Anya, tell us, at the age of 11, we all want to have just fun, enjoy our life. I remember at 11 years, I was just going to school because my parents forced me to go. I did my homework because again, I was forced to do. I played, which I loved. And I think I slept, maybe watched some TV. At the age of 11, what inspired you to go and pick something like this?
Well, I did do all of those things. I did play, did go to school, all of that. But one thing I remember is, again, I was really young. So I just want to say that not everything has to start with this huge burst of inspiration. For me, it was just plain curiosity. We'd always listen to the radio in the car, and I remember always thinking, how is this person's voice coming to me through my car? Now, obviously, I know the mechanics of it, but before I was like, there's this strange person, they're in my car, how did they get there? Are they in other people's cars? So that's where my fascination with radio came about. And all of that culminated when I was at a party and someone told me that the CEO of Radio Caravan is there. She's currently who I work for, Ms. Shabna Mongill. I went up to her, talked to her. I was very bubbly, but obviously I was just talking to her about how incredible I thought her radio was. So then she invited me to the station for an audition. She said, just come, talk for maybe an hour, and we'll see how that goes. So I did my audition, and I was given a partner slot. So I was doing my show with another adult because, one, I was very young, didn't know the trade, and I also didn't know how to work the soundboard, which does the music and everything. So what I did is I did that for a year. It was called the Kids Hour with Anya. But then after a year, they said that I was ready to move up. So I, moved up in the levels like you guys will, and I got my own show called The Spotlight with Anya. And now it's been 5 years, so it's been a
Woo!
good time.
5 years, it's a long time, and especially I feel when we start doing something, we get bored and we give up on that. That, okay, I'm joining a class to learn violin, but now I'm bored, I leave it. But the consistency, I think, is what takes you at that level, and you have shown that, right? So tell us more about this segment, it's Youth Spotlight. What do you do in that, and so that and where they can hear to you on this channel? Tell us about that.
So the Youth Spotlight with Anya show is the show that I host every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. Central. So in 2 days, you guys can hear me at 104.1 FM, 700 AM, and also on our website, www.jointhecaravan.com, and our Join the Caravan app. So my show, the Youth Spotlight with Anya, I like to divide it into 2 categories, but all the categories culminate into one thing, which is making enriching, uplifting, and entertaining content for kids. So I hope if you guys listen that you're interested. Because one, what I try to do is I always try to make a platform for people to come and express themselves. For example, if you have a kid, I've had a bunch of youth authors, singers, actors, youth change makers on my show. People will DM me or they'll come talk to me like, hey, I've done XYZ, can I come talk about it on your show? So I bring on all these inspirational youths to amplify their voices and their stories and make them feel like they matter. Because I had some amazing people who made me feel like my voice mattered. So I'd like to spread that with other people. And the second part of that is inspiration. So when I got older, again, from 11 to 13, I think I was very youth-based. I was talking about more childish topics because I was also young. I was still in middle school. But then once I got into high school, I wanted to expand my reach. And this is why I never got bored, because my job always changed. So one of the new parts that I've started doing is I've started interviewing adults. I started interviewing people who I think are inspirational for younger people to listen to, people from different career opportunities, actors, singers. I've recently gotten into talking to more Bollywood actors and singers, which has been really fun. So those are the 2 things that you can expect from my show, obviously with Bollywood and Western music. And you can always call in or DM me on Instagram to get something personalized for you. I love playing song requests. I love talking about other people's stories on my show. So if you have anything that you'd ever want to say, just let me know. And I always try to make my platform open for everybody to come.
Wow, that is so kind. Doesn't it deserve a round of applause?
Yes.
One is uplifting yourself by picking that platform, but at the same time, keeping in mind the other people, giving them a platform and taking it together. That's what a leader is, who walks the way, takes the way, and leads the way. But we have so many aspiring kids. I'm sure any one of you really want your voice to be out and showcase your talent. That's your girl. Go for her. And then, do you want to tell us the Instagram? So there might be parents who are not on Instagram. What is the other way that they can find you?
So for all my kids who've just got an Instagram, I got Instagram I think at 13. So for those of y'all who are 13, time to ask your parents. But for the parents, I also have Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at RJ Anya Ahuja. And I also have my email, which is AnyaAhujaOfficial for more requests, such as when to come on the show and things like that. So, but basically at RJ Anya Ahuja on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram is where you can find me. You can find examples of shows I've done, of different recordings, and basically just what to expect when you hear my name.
Awesome. And then, after this show, she'll be here with us, so you can just take her information, connect with her, and find more details. Moving on to the next curiosity element that I have is, you go to school,
Yes, I do.
you get homework.
Not much. I was actually supposed to be here at 1. I really wanted to see all of y'all's performances. I only saw Shreya's. You were really great, by the way. I loved your singing. I wanted to see everybody's, but I had a gov project to do. So I will say that school takes up a lot of my time.
So, how do you balance going to school, making sure to finish your homework, going here and there, and then now you are a media personality in Dallas. So I see you at the events as well, with your smile and that contagious positivity. How do you balance that lifestyle?
I will say that the balance is not made. We're still a little bit off balance. I don't think I'm I'm going to learn how to truly get everything done at the exact same time for a while. But over the years, I think one good thing that I've done is that I've gradually increased my workload over the years. When I was 11, all I was doing was going to my show and just doing whatever I wanted for an hour. And then once I got older, I started having more structured shows, more interviews, and then I started going to different events and seeing different things. So that's when my workload increased. So the first thing I'd say is very basic. I feel like everybody says this, but it needs to be said. A calendar. I love Google Calendar. I really wish they'd sponsor me. I talk about them everywhere. I have one big Google Calendar that my parents are on, everybody's on. There are a couple categories. There's schoolwork, so here I put like when my quizzes are, when my tests are. I have family, so it's like doctor's appointments, someone's birthday, things like that. Friends/fun, it's in purple. Like for example, tomorrow my friend/fun is that I'm going to the Taylor Swift concert. And then I also have a radio show and extracurriculars, which is where I put my show times, interview times, and times where I'm slotted to MC. And then finally, I have plans for the day. So I put everything in this one Google Calendar that I have on my computer, on my phone, and my Apple Watch. It needs to be accessible everywhere. From there, you can see what exactly you need to do every day. And then from there, what I do is I make a to-do list like for the week, for the weekend, and for the day. So from there, I will put that in like by the hour into my Google Calendar, which sounds very tedious, but I swear it works. And it's made me realize that there are a lot of hours in the day, you just need to know how to use them. And obviously, I'm not entirely sure how to use all of my hours wisely yet. But there's that. So time blocking, Google, like having a calendar, that's all I feel like basic things. But one thing that I think I've really learned over the years is take people's help. Sometimes you just cannot do everything. Like those people that you see or your classmates are like, oh, I do this, this, and this. I did all of that. They didn't. I swear to you, they did not do all of it. They delegated those tasks. So find a support group that you can give people tasks to so you can still get things done just with help. So figure out your priorities, and then whatever doesn't fit those in that current day, you can always get help from someone else.
Yes, calendar is something which I am handicapped without. Calendar is something which takes care of things. I read a quote somewhere, do not use your brain to remember the things. Use your brain to do productive things. So if the calendar can take care of that, and as Anya said, we all need support. We need accountability partners. It could be your parents, it could be your friends, it could be anyone. And I know there's a big backbone behind Anya. So Anya, we just want to know, I know your mom is capturing us from there, but I have seen her supporting you all this journey. So tell us about how you can actually seek out support besides your parents. How do you reach out to people saying that I need help? It's challenging, but how do you do that?
It is challenging, but the first thing to do is realize that you truly matter, like what your needs matter. So if you're going to go up to someone and ask for their help, besides your parents, I know that your parents are always going to be willing to help you. But when it comes to friends or mentors, for example, since I'm older, I've been looking at career opportunities. And in terms of having mentors like Miss Neetu, I remember honestly just talk to them about who you are and what you want to do. Always have this like elevator pitch that's like 2 minutes of, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, and then end with, and I'd love you to help me with this, this, and this. Honestly, they'll help you, especially when you're younger. Like as someone who started, I guess it would be my career now when I was really, really young. People are always willing to help new talent because we are the future. So we really are. So once you realize that you are the future and that you are a priority in your own life and others, then I think you'll be able to find help a lot easier.
Yes, so always go and find help. Don't think that, what will the other person think? They are ready to help you. You have a good community to support you. I think my last question, I wish I could talk to her the whole day. I don't even remember when we met, but I just asked the way I ask everybody, what is your aspirations? What do you want to do? And she mentioned something, and then all of a sudden I was talking to her that I'm doing a show, would you like to be an MC? She just jumped into it, and my trust was so good in her that everybody in my team, they were asking me, are you sure she's a young girl? Don't you think you are experimenting? I said, no, it's not about experimenting. I trust her. It's her hard work which will take her there. And we all make mistakes. So what? But she pulled that show so well, and after that, she has been doing MC for big events like Independence Day, Diwali. Recently, she was in Chicago doing a big show. So every year, I ask her, what is one thing that you want to do? And I love to be a little part of that, take a little credit again, and help her. So this year, I'm doing a show on April 8th, and she's going to do something exciting for which you have to come and watch the show, right? But my last question, Anya, what is an advice that you want to give to these girls?
Well, obviously, you guys have already you know each other, you know Miss Neetu, and you've gone through this entrepreneurship journey. So I'm sure she's told you a lot of incredible advice. But one thing I'd say is, again, it sounds extremely cliche, but I realize that things are so cliche because they're true. Be kind to yourself, please. Please look at yourself as someone who is very important, and your words matter, your journey matters. So when you're in a room and you're talking to people, don't be afraid to go up to them, tell them what you want to do. Tell them, oh, I'm a singer, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I swear they'll be interested in it because there are kind people in this world. So be kind to yourself, make sure that you know that your story is your priority. You should always be looking towards your needs, and then you can, once you have that love for yourself, you can spread it towards others. So the first thing is be kind to yourself.
Be kind, love yourself. So before we let her go, anybody from the audience would like to ask questions? We can take 2 questions due to time constraints. If anybody has a question.
Hi. So I want to ask you, were you an introvert, an extrovert, or were you afraid of, when you ventured into radio in the initial days? How did you get over speaking over the radio and especially talking to adults, and any tips for the kids? Thank you.
Okay, good question. Thank you. And I will say that when I was younger, I was the definition of an introvert. I specifically remember getting called into my teacher's office in kindergarten, thinking I was in trouble. But she just said that I don't think you are making any friends. You just don't like people. So I realized that that's something that needs to change. And then when I switched schools, I go to the Hockaday School in Dallas right now, and that's when I truly found my people. I found that people wanted to hear from me. That what I was saying would actually resonate with some people, and that people would like me. So from there, I think it was very gradual. It happened over the years. I slowly became an introvert to the extreme extrovert that I am now. And I think advice for public speaking is, 1, prepare. I would never do anything without preparation. If you're giving questions, if you're doing a presentation, even if you're having an important conversation with an elder or someone who you think will benefit you, at least write down some bullet points. Being prepared is always important. And then from there, I think social situations are often very scary, and sometimes one thing will happen that'll ruin your whole mood. But the one thing to make sure is that that experience shouldn't have an effect on how you feel. For example, I emceed this event at my school, and our sound system was not working, which made for some very choppy sound breaks. And that honestly ruined my mood for a solid 10 minutes. And then I looked at myself and I was like, there are people out there that if I'm in a bad mood, they'll be in a bad mood. And then everything will just go wrong. So I still smiled, I still laughed, I made jokes every time the music skipped to Kala Chashma instead of Sheila Ki Jawani. And then I moved on, and then people said I did a great job because I realized that I was positive. So that's it.
Anybody from my aspiring young students has a question? Do you want to ask a question, Fred? Yeah, go ahead. Ask her, would she invite you to her show?
Yeah.
Ask anything, just kidding.
What is your hobby? Most favorite hobby?
Most favorite hobby? Good question.
Most favorite hobby, because they have listened that you do so many things, so I think they're confused. What is your favorite one?
My most favorite hobby, that's very hard. I wish that I had one thing that I was like super, super, super into, like you are about singing. But I think for me, it would either have to be one, listening to music and discovering more types of music because I've always had that passion, and two, public speaking. I love getting in front of a mic. Give me a mic and I will talk for hours, as y'all can see. So, yeah, those are my two. Listening to music and public speaking.
I think once you become a people person, you love to talk and we love to listen to you, Anya.
Thank you.
Keep coming to our show. So with that, I think we end the show. We have time constraints, but I love to listen to her. So stay connected with her. Tune in to Radio Caravan. I know Ms. Shabnam Modgill since 7 years now. She has been a role model for me, an inspiration who always supports. So let's encourage these, they are our future as we talk about it. And then you never know what can be a turning point in your life. So with that, we'll end the show. Thank you so much, Anya, for being with us. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.